Why the UAE just dropped $70 billion into Canada. Buddy, we just landed the biggest foreign investment package this country has seen in a generation. And it did not come from Washington, Beijing, or Brussels. It came straight out of Abu Dhabi. And I am telling you right now, this changes the map for Canada. Because here is the thing. For decades, Canada's economy was basically a semi-attached garage to the United States. Great for convenience, brutal when the US sneezes and we catch pneumonia. But on November 21st, 2025, Carney touched down in Abu Dhabi and flipped the script. He signed an investment protection deal, kicked off trade negotiations, and walked away with 70 billion US dollars in UAE investment commitments. 70 billion. That's LNG plants, that's port expansions, that's critical minerals, AI labs, data infrastructure, actual nation building. And buddy, the wildest part? This was not a one-off handshake. This was the beginning of a whole new Canadian playbook. Here is the deal. The world got ugly and Canada got smart. Look around. The world is more dangerous and divided than it was 5 minutes ago. Russia is trying to redraw borders. China is rewriting trade routes. And the US, they are still our closest partner. But with Trump in the office, their foreign policy swings harder than a drunk lumberjack at a piñata. Canada's new government had to do something bold, something different, something that stopped us from being what we have been for too long, a one-customer economy. So Carney set a mission: double non-US exports in 10 years, attract $1 trillion in new investment in 5 years. Not politically cute, strategic. Survival mode, power move. And that's exactly why he flew to the UAE, one of the richest, fastest growing investment powerhouses on earth. Carney signed something called a Foreign Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement, a FIPA. Sounds boring. It's not. Here is a translation. You bring billions into Canada. We guarantee your investment won't get jerked around by changing governments or weird regulations. We invest in your country. Same deal. Predictability is equal to capital. And capital is equal to power. This is how grown-up economies work. A proper FIPA is like bolting the doors shut so your investors know the wind won't blow the rules away every election cycle. And UAE investors, they love stability. They invest long-term. They build giant, infrastructure-sized things that last. Ports, mines, pipelines, AI labs, data centers. Stuff Canada actually needs. Quick pit stop. Please hit like and subscribe if you like the content that I'm making. And use the link below and buy me a coffee if you want to help me keep this channel independent. Thank you. Now back to our topic. Canada wants a trade superhighway into the Gulf. Then Carney and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed dropped another bomb. Canada and the UAE are launching negotiations for a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, a CEPA. A CEPA is basically a bilateral trade superhighway. Tariffs cut, red tape scrapped, market access wide open. Why does this matter? Because the UAE is a $700 billion logistics hub for everything moving between Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. If you export beef, planes, software, wheat, seafood, engineering services, the UAE is not just a market. It's the on-ramp for 50 other markets. Think about that. Canada has not had a trade gateway this clean since NAFTA 1.0. And here is the kicker. Countries with similar CEPAs, like Korea, doubled trade with partners in under a decade. Carney is not gambling. He's reading the data. The part that made every other G20 capital go, sorry, what? This is where the story jumps from solid policy to holy hell. During the trip, UAE sovereign wealth funds, the mega money machines that run trillions globally, announced they are investing $70 billion into Canada. Buddy, this is seismic. This is crazy. This is larger than any foreign investment wave since the oil sands boom. And this cash is not going into condos or speculation. It's going into nation building. Ports on both coasts, critical mineral mines in the Shield, AI clusters in Montreal, Toronto, and Calgary, data infrastructure connecting our Arctic to global networks, energy, LNG, hydrogen, renewables. We are talking projects that take decades, not election cycles. This is the kind of money that sees Canada's geography the way we should have been seeing it for decades, as a strategic, resource-rich, Arctic-powered, stable democracy sitting between every major trade route of the future. And UAE sovereign funds? They are not doing this because we are nice. They are doing it because Canada is valuable. Buddy, imagine telling your grandfather in the 70s that one day a Middle Eastern petrostate would invest tens of billions into Canadian AI labs. He would think you were drunk or possessed. But here we are, because the world flipped. And Canada is finally playing the board properly. The two-way economic highway. Canada is not just receiving, we are sending too. Now, here is the part nobody's talking about. Carney did not just ask the UAE to bring money. He told Canadian institutions to step up too. Canada's pension funds, with $2 trillion in capital, will head to the UAE next year. Canadian business delegations are being flown in early 2026. UAE sovereign wealth funds will visit Canada to scout projects. Direct flights expanding. Tourism and cargo both go up. This is not a handshake. This is infrastructure. This is the plumbing of global trade being hooked directly into Canada's economy. When you make it easier for money to move, money moves. This is where you really see Canada flex its brain power. 3 major deals closed on the sidelines. Mila and UAE, Technology Innovation Institute, AI Architecture Research, real research, not PR fluff. BlackBerry and UAE Cybersecurity Council, Cyber Defense Partnership. Remember, UAE is a global cyber hub, and BlackBerry still runs secure infrastructures worldwide. Invest in Canada and UAE Ministry of Investment, a referral pipeline for mega projects. Basically, matchmaking for billion-dollar infrastructure. These deals matter because they are long-term, sticky, high-trust agreements. The more the UAE relies on Canadian tech, the more they invest here, and the more we diversify our economy. This whole visit sent a message. Clear, loud, and global. Canada is not dependent. Canada is not passive. Canada is not waiting for Washington's permission to build its future. This is not anti-American. It's pro-Canadian. UAE is a major strategic partner in a region where we have historically had almost no presence. Now we have ports, digital corridors, AI partnerships, investment flows, diplomatic links. This is Canada expanding its influence, not shrinking it. And buddy, here is the part that hits hardest. This is the first official visit of a Canadian Prime Minister to the UAE since 1983. 42 years, we ignored one of the richest, fastest growing economies on the planet for 4 decades. And in one visit, one day, Canada unlocked more investment than we have gotten from some allies in a decade. That's the power of actually showing up. That's the power of having a plan that is not wait for the US to do something first. And that is the moment Canada stopped being a polite bystander and started acting like a real player. Buddy, what do you think is Canada's next billion-dollar play? Because this UAE deal is not the last one coming. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.